Scientists that are studying nature are very fractured. You know, there's scientists that are studying this fish. There's scientists that are studying nesting habits of this bird. But there isn't this collective of some scientists saying, okay, let's study the entire complete impact nature has on the human race. Like, what benefit does nature have in numbers? What is that benefit as a complete package, as a calculation of everything that is involved in nature and how it benefits the human race in numbers? How does that work? How is that benefit measurable? How is it illustratable? All those things are not done as a complete package. Science is too split up. Too many people are doing too many different things. And there's no real discussion of this completeness. What is the benefit of forests regrowing and rivers being clean and the oceans being more healthy? What are the benefits of all that as a complete number? That is missing. Yeah, I think it would be very beneficial if some mathematicians actually turned nature into a mathematical equation. The factors would be leaving nature alone, aiding nature, improving nature, creating regulations that protect nature in a different way, in a mathematical way. Let's say you don't allow any fishing boats into outside of the 200-mile zone. What would happen? What is the mathematical impact of that? It would be really nice to see if mathematicians could actually say, hey, look, if we could actually illustrate the benefits of not destroying nature but including it in our society, what would that mathematical equation be for, the benefits that would occur when that happens? It would be a really nice scenario if some mathematicians could really illustrate that in such a way that people would listen, people would look at the numbers. This idea of producing different food for us, this idea of having cleaner oxygen, cleaner water, more food available to the planet. All these things are very interesting because, they can be, numbers can be superimposed over top of nature. And I think it would be very interesting to see if the numbers could explain a lot more to the human race of leaving nature alone, pushing it along, whatever it takes to get the human race to understand that nature is also a mathematical formula. It has this exponential potential to multiply itself, to use this interconnectivity in such a way that life benefits from it. So it would be interesting to see if we could figure out a way to explain the benefits to politicians, the benefits to other scientists. It would be a really important message to the next generations. Look at these numbers. If you have these forests in this region, what it does for everything else, and this connectivity has to be promoted. There has to be a real understanding of what nature's potential is. And we don't do that enough. I don't hear it anywhere talking about this built-in energy that nature has that can change everything for the human race in the future. You know, it's really interesting. Humans always ask the wrong question when it comes to nature. They always ask the question, what can nature do for us? And if that ever changed to what can we do for nature, the world would be a very interesting place, because nature would reward us tenfold if we allow it to do what it does best, and that is to take over, you know, areas that nothing is growing, fill up the oceans again with fish. Uh, the list goes on, covering the earth with vegetation. Nature has that built-in ability to do that all by itself. What is the interference? Why is, you know, the earth in such rough shape? It's because we have this idea that we have to impose our thinking, our behaviors, our control over nature, and it's not working. Now, why is nature so powerful? Well, it has this incredible connectivity. It has this ability to, it's almost like a virus. It has this ability to cover the planet. It has this ability to have fish lay millions of extra eggs when needed, because they are left alone. If you leave herring alone and allow them to repopulate the oceans with feeder fish, they will do it. And this human interference is very interesting to me, because the human interference is based on personalities. There are certain personalities that want to control all life. They want to control the environment. They want to benefit from the environment. But what they don't understand is, if they use nature to their advantage, the results would be a lot more powerful than them chopping everything down. And then that destruction is very narrow-minded, very short-sighted. This idea of having, for example, Ecuador, if we have ecotourism here, we can keep the country still very biodiverse. So it's the objective. What is the objective of the human race? To keep the environment, to keep nature flourishing. What is that objective? It gives us clean drinking water, for example, clean oxygen to breathe. There's so many benefits to helping nature rather than controlling it. But we don't understand that. We don't have a concept of this beneficial, symbiotic relationship with nature. We don't understand that yet. There might come a time in our future history where everyone is working in professions that they love to do. We have this idea where nature is left to the most part alone. Humans have the only function of pushing, helping, and never destroying, and benefiting immensely from nature. We have many problems with our attitude towards nature. I'm really worried about the next generations having no personal connection to nature. They have, no idea how milk is made. They have no idea how carrots are grown. They just find it on their table, they consume it, and that might be the extent of it. So we have this entire world population trying to feed itself. We have this these government systems that are trying to benefit from abusing nature. We have, for example, fishing boats going outside of the 200-mile zone, traveling for weeks, harvesting every little tiny fish they can to make them into fish sticks. And the world can't support that anymore. It's not going to happen. World populations are going to decline because it's just not going to be enough of nature left to feed us. So there has to be a different type of movement towards including nature. And that inclusion is 90% based on education. How do you educate the next generations to say, hey, nature is this marvelous machine of interconnectivity, it has this ability to grow, it has this ability to reproduce, to flower, to go to seed. It has all these things. But we aren't really doing a good enough job teaching the next generation of this power that is built into everything that is natural. We don't deal with that correctly. We don't show this next generation how powerful this world is. It's just not done correctly. The moment the next generation has no interest in these natural processes, these natural energy, built-in energies that are in nature, the moment that's not promoted to the next generation, they might be future leaders that have absolutely no connection to nature, no understanding of the benefits of dealing with nature correctly. So that's going to be a huge problem when the next generation just has no understanding of how this inclusion factor can move the planet forward. You know, weather is getting more and more extreme every time. There's fires everywhere. There's craziness everywhere. There's people cutting down trees everywhere. There's developers moving into new areas, and they just chop down every single tree without any regard for nature, because it's easier to lay septic lines and electrical cables without those trees being there. So if we can change our attitude towards nature, guess what? Humanity benefits, not nobody else. Nature has this ability to move forward regardless if we influence it or not. If humans disappeared off the planet tomorrow, nature would take over everything again. It would be like so prolific, so quick, so perfect. It knows what to do. This communication between plants, this supply of food for animals, this plentifulness promotes more plentifulness. That is the big equation in nature. The more prolific nature is, the more prolific everything follows behind and grows with nature, and there's no stopping. It's like something is spreading, and nature can take over huge, vast areas of landscapes and bring animals back if they're not extinct yet. It could do all these things that humans could only dream of doing. And this idea of respecting nature, using nature to our advantage, again, which sounds awful, but it's very true. Nature can do a lot of things for us. It can feed us. It can supply us with all the chemicals we need, all the oxygen we need, all the nutrients we need. But we need to respect nature and understand the potential, this understanding of potential of, you know, a lot of times leaving nature alone is never understood. It's just not done correctly.